November. She's all cindery. Hi everybody, this is Christina at Scrapcraft and Stitchery. I am going to work on making some paper beads today. Thank you for joining me today. I am so excited. So I had gone to the Arkansas Visitors Center and gotten all of these cool pamphlets about visiting Arkansas for a trip that we went on. And this is actually from our house, is about, I don't know, 5-10 miles from us. So I have all of this great material, and I have fussy cut out some of the pictures and things that I might want to use, like pictures and things like that. And for the rest of this, I'm not super, this is very interesting information about the military road from Memphis to Little Rock. But these maps are really cool, and I'm going to try and make them into paper beads, which I haven't made for a long time, but I have these ones that I've made out of book page, where I have inked and dyed book page. And these are kind of cool, and they look nice, and they're fun to use. But this is all I have, and I'm kind of going to try and see if I can make this a little bit easier today instead of a little bit more difficult. And so let's kind of get started. I think I have everything out that I need. I have lots of these kind of tourist brochure kind of things. I've been kind of cutting this. And this is out of the back of a magazine, and it's Where to Dine, I think in Greensboro, but it might also be in I think this might be, I'm sorry, I'm trying to look and see. This must be in Greensboro, North Carolina. A friend of mine sent this to me as Happy Meal. A whole Greensboro thing, and I do think it would be fun to make like a food kind of centered thing and include these kinds of things. But really, they just make me want to go eat desserts. So all I'm doing right now is I'm going to tear these into triangles. And depending on, oops, I did not get that one. So what you want to keep in mind for this is as tall as your bead is going to be. When you roll it, this will be the height of your bead. And then this one was a rectangle because it doesn't have any, I don't know if you can see how well you can see that, but this one's just a cylinder, and so you get that by just doing a long rectangle and rolling it. And you get these other, this is also a cylinder, I guess, but by doing that you get where it gets smaller and smaller every time. This is pretty basic and probably makes sense if you think about it. Kind of a thing. So we can make these and then decorate them. This one I think is going to be so if you want it to be kind of short, you're going to make it this big, like that. So my plan here is I'm going to roll these beads, and I'm going to decide if I want to paint them or what I want to add to them after the fact. Depending on what they look like, we shall see. They might be kind of cool just on their own. I think that with the text they might be kind of cool. And I have, because I'm using all of these different flyers, this is kind of a magazine weight paper. I'm going to throw that away. let's keep adding to them until we're happy, which is, I mean, kind of the #1 rule of junk journaling and art journaling is keep adding until you're happy. I think is if there had to be one rule, and you know, this is kind of a thing that we like to do because there are no rules, but #1 rule is just keep adding to it until you're happy. So we'll apply that to our beads. I'm going to leave this one this way so that it will be a different shape. Okay. And maybe I really do want to try one of these maps and see what that looks like. And I really do love the text in this one. I think it looks really cool. So I am going to do some of these, and then, you know, I'm just going to keep going. I'll turn all of these into triangles. So as we do with these things, I think it's best to look at both sides and see which one you think might be more interesting. I'm going to make a whole bunch of these. Alright, so this is really kind of the last one that I'm making, and I have cut a whole bunch of these, but basically it's what I've been trying to do is sometimes this is kind of off, so this is more like an isosceles triangle, or right triangle, I guess, an isosceles right triangle, but it's nice to have some that are like an equilateral triangle as well. And that's just going to make a different kind of a shape on your bead. You can kind of direct it to. We will see. I am, let's say, interested to see how these come out. So this one's kind of more the same. So, you know, coming up like this. And this one is more like going along one side, so these will be a little bit different, and I can roll them a little bit different when I roll them. I think I'm just interested to see how these look when I actually get into the bead making. This, I like this patterns and the colors on here. So I did see somebody who was taking like magazines that had some color pictures but a lot of text, and they were rolling them into these like paper straws, which they were then turning into a basket, and they were so cool. So I'm kind of interested to see if these like little paper beads that are like the really text heavy ones are going to be super, super cool. I keep trying to cut in the wrong direction here, meaning on the wrong side. I am left-handed, so I want to cut on the left-hand side of my ruler and not on the right-hand side, because that just makes it weird and hard and my arm gets in the way, believe it or not. Okay, sorry, we've been we have very musical cats around here. We have Grim here. You can see his little feet are hanging out, and I'm playing with them because he is very, very asleep, obviously. He's got his little paw over his eyes. It's super cute. The only problem with cutting it this way is now I can't see where I'm cutting because I'm covering what I'm cutting. That will be better. I do think these colors are going to be fun. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. They're going to be very khaki, kind of army colored, because, and tan beads to begin with. But they do have some like pretty blues and yellows and things like that. And I think that is about it. I have a huge pile. This is going to make so many beads. Okay. Let's get started here. Okay, so I have cut out all of these. Most of these beads are, in fact, look at this. Most of these I cut out in rectangles, or in triangles rather, and I did try to get them so they would be like this. So they're, as I was saying, isosceles, but kind of going up to a point with this short end and having these two angles more or less the same. So now is what you need for this is some glue, and I'm going to use my Tombow mono liquid glue, which I really like to do this. You could also use Fabrifix or your favorite glue. We're just gluing paper here. It's not two, but you're going to, and a skewer, and these are wooden skewers. You could use, I mean, whatever you have, a dowel or whatever will work here. And I am just going to start to roll this, and that is going to be my bead. This one is very, very khaki, and it does not have a lot of other colors in it. So we'll see. We might have to come back. I suppose we can paint these later. So now that I'm down to the end, I am going to add a little bit of glue just to the end. Once I'm done with these, I am going to glue them together. So there you go. That is one bead. On there. It doesn't look too bad. It's not the most exciting bead that we've ever seen, but it is kind of fun and it could go a long way. Let's try one of these. I'm going to make a big one so that y'all be able to see it. Can't believe I just said y'all because I am not a southerner, so I'm kind of borrowing. Let's try one of these. So which of these is a more interesting side? And I'm going to say this is kind of more interesting slightly. I'm going to get rid of that for now. So this is a much thinner paper than that brochure paper. This is kind of more like magazine paper. And we're just going to roll it up. Okay, so gluing, and you just have to glue the very tip of these. You could glue more of it if you want, but it's gonna stick like that. Okay, so now you have a second paper bead. And I might get a dish to put these in. Now, these are kind of plain and boring, not super exciting. So let's look and see what we might be able to do. It's going to be not too, I don't want to like ink the edges of this entire pile, but I might want to add a little bit of coordinating color to these. Let's try this. This has a lot of fun colors in it. There we go. Okay. Ooh, I did not quite glue down yet. Might have to hold that. So that one is very interesting. We get a lot more kind of fun colors than the other ones that we had. Because remember, this piece of paper was very green, and this one has a lot more colors and is a lot more fun all by itself. Is what I'm thinking is I need to go back and make a line to get that line to really pop, because this does kind of just come across as a very green bead, and that's great. So now I have this piece, and it's black all along this one side, and I've already rolled this a couple of times, so it's already kind of going. I'm trying to decide how I like this. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and get a black stripe with a long and kind of keep the tan stripe going as well. So I'm going to have to get this kind of going at the right angle to do that. Once we get it started, it's going to be easier to kind of just keep it going. See, now I have this kind of spiraling of color. Whoop, woo. Okay. Okay. This is going to be a very different looking bead than we've done before. So I'm just going to kind of keep going and rolling these beads. Well, first I want to show you. So I was saying we've done all of these ones, and they're all very plain on the edges, and that's great and fine and good, and it's kind of a little bit easy to make them. But what if, I hate to say this, what if we kind of do something to make an edge on these? And then there's this one that we've just made, right? And so this one, you can see the brown and you can see the black along that border, and it makes kind of a cool pattern. So we'll put that in our thing and decide if we like that. I'm not sure if I like that or not. I'm just kind of really playing around here. So I'm just going to take this brush marker, and so this end is kind of yellow, it's kind of a little ripped down there, and I'm just going to go like this. I don't want this to be too difficult, honestly. I just want to create a little bit of quick, because I don't want to put like a huge amount of time and effort into making this. So I'm just going to test this and see how this looks, and we all know that I'm going to like it better. We know that, right? And this is way more effort than I wanted to put into this. And is that to Papa? It's almost like I can hear the ice cream man coming. Maybe it's just the girls next door playing some like music. Okay. I don't know if you can even notice the difference there. I can. So back onto the skewer and the rolling and see if we get a little bit better definition, which we're going to on that edge. Woo, woo, woo. I let the whole thing go. I don't think that they so yeah, I definitely do like that a lot better, which is unfortunate because I really don't necessarily want to ink all of these triangles. But that does give that, when you're done, it does make it look a lot more finished and a lot nicer. And I do like how that had just the color at the end, and now it's got this kind of stripe in the middle. That's really pretty. Honestly, that was my favorite one that we've done so far. Definitely by far the favorite one that we've done so far. So I guess that's the way to go. So pull out your brush markers. Sit in front of the TV and just, I guess you could get So since this doesn't need to be inked, we'll roll this one right now because we haven't tried this one yet. So let's try this, and this is going to be the wide part. So this is going to be the outside part, and the rest of this will be on the inside of this bead. So I'm not going to bother to ink that, but I have cut this just as a big rectangle and then made these two pendant kind of parts. So we'll have a double bead that's connected in the middle, like here. And I did do the outside just to where it starts to angle in the other direction. And this is going to be a nice thick bead. You can make thinner beads. Okay, I don't know, it's kind of wonkety. Let's see how it goes. It did not go straight, so I might want to fix that, honestly. let's try straightening this out so that when I get to here, I want it to go straight. I do believe I want that so that these will be kind of in the center. And okay. They don't have to be perfect, but I did not like what was happening there. Okay. Let's, hopefully this is enough that there's like a division so it looks like two beads. Okay. I have glue on, dried glue just stuck all over my fingers. Okay. This one's very interesting already. It has a lot of text and a lot of grid that you can see. It's got a lot of colors coming. It's very interesting. I thought it would be different. I thought it would look like two beads kind of stuck together, and it's not really the way that it came out, but it's really, I mean, this is a very interesting one. I like it a lot. Okay, I like this a lot. I only made like about 2 of these bigger ones, but it's very big and it's got, I thought it would have 2. I should have cut it down farther towards the center, and had the 2 flags a little more pronounced, which is kind of what I think I was expecting. But this is actually really cool too, especially with the inking. That's cool. That is cool. I like how it's got the different directions. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, let's roll this pile and then we'll continue inking that pile. This is a tiny one. So yes, I mean, but inking these makes a huge amount of difference in this because these are very similar, and just adding that black ink or a brown ink even would, it's just gonna make it look better. Okay. I'm excited. I think this one will be cool. I think this one will look very cool. So there's that. We have that one, which would be a similar one. This would be a similar one. We have a whole bunch. I like these ones. I think they're cool. Okay. Only one of these I did not ink, and the rest I did. And I don't know, it's just a different look. Very different look. Depends on what you like. Like, that just looks fabulous. I want to find the other one. I know I cut another one like that, so I'll probably play around with that one. And then these ones, this is pretty fast and easy, even though I decided to go and ink them. I mean, I've already made this many, and I've been working on this for like an hour and a half. Other fun things you can do with these is you can paint them with fingernail polish that has glitter in it, or you could just paint over them with like some, it is a good idea to kind of seal them with something, so fingernail polish is a good idea. If you can just use clear fingernail polish, you can use glitter fingernail polish. We might try a couple of different things here. These ones that I previously made, I sealed these and painted them with some gel matte medium to seal them in. These ones I definitely inked and did a lot of different things. These are really cool, made out of book page too, and you don't necessarily need a lot. I've made some fairly large strips here, but you don't need a lot of them. So let me grab some stuff and I'll show you how I'm going to seal these as well. Won't that be a pretty one? I liked these polka dots, and I thought that it might be cool to cut this way, but this would be just a pretty image to put in my journal, and I'm probably gonna do that instead. Sorry you didn't make it. I thought this one would be a really cool bead. I think this is a bridge lit up at nighttime, and I do think that I'm not going to ink this. I don't think I'm going to get a whole lot out of inking this. This will be a fairly small bead. If I can get it started, then just roll it around and around. I had two of these, obviously, because I cut a rectangle into two triangles. And I might just make both of these. I thought it would be fun to have the purple and the black. I thought would look really cool. And it does look very cool. That is a very different one from any of the other ones that we made. We didn't try any of this. That would be very, I mean, all of these are like in different papers, so it's very cool. I'm looking for the other one of these. Let me go get, I want to show you the nail polish that I have. I have some nail polish that has some glitter in it. It's very cool. I'm going to use that on here, and I like it with the black because it's black. I have purple sparkles. Alright, so I'm back and I have some nail polish, and this is very cool. It's got lots of different, this is just a top coat that's clear, but it has a lot of very cool sparkles in it, and I'm gonna try this on here. So this is, I mean, really the reason you're doing this is to seal this paper bead and give it kind of a coat where it is, sorry, I'm trying to get the glare off of my glasses to not come out. I thought this would be really cool. It's got kind of magenta and these really cool silver holographic, and I just thought it would be cool with the black underneath and the purple that was in that piece to do that. Very, very sparkly. I think that is fun. Fun, fun, fun. I don't know if you can see. So I'm gonna set that one aside to dry. That looks so cool. I love this. This is so cool. I hate putting it on my nails. It kind of is very difficult to take off. I do like it sometimes. It's very specific to what mood I'm in for this to be a thing. The other thing that I have is this is, and I'm actually wearing this now, and this gives, it's like, it says it's holographic. I don't really know what that means. It does give a little bit of sparkle. Sorry, my nails are a mess. And I'm showing you, like, look, see how terrible my nails are right now. I suppose I should sit down and redo them. So I'm going to do this one, and it is a little bit of sparkle, but it's very, very less pronounced. And I do think that at least on my nails, it does kind of give it a little bit of gray. But you could also use, I've used Artist Matte Medium, and I also have a varnish. It's a Liquitex varnish for finishing things. And I've used that on the beads that I made previously. And you can do that if you don't have nail polish, if you don't want to use your nail polish, if you just want to use something different. And I suppose that you don't really necessarily have to. I do think this is going to keep these and help them to kind of stay rolled and to protect them, as well as giving them kind of a really cool finish. That one's a little bit looser. I have a box, and I am going to stick these while they dry and while I make more, and that's why I have a lot of skewers instead of just the one. Now that I'm looking at these while they're done, I really do love, I have to take my glasses off, and these ones that have just the like kind of army green brown map that I was using, and then I've put this really lightly shiny but slightly, very, very slightly sparkly nail polish on it, and it just looks so good. And I think it would be fine too if you looked, because I can see a little bit of letters, just a little bit. I mean, this one looks fabulous too with the like more colorful map, and this one's just fun because it's got all that sparkle on the black. So I have this box, and this box is really kind of, I think, the perfect size where I can just let these sit like that. I think I could actually kind of just push these in here. This was a shoe box. I bought some sandals. So I'm just going to put these in here and let them hang out and dry just like that. You could just set them on the top, but since these are going to fit, I think they'll be less likely to fall off if I kind of wedge that in there. So I'm going to finish off these ones, and then I will probably, quite frankly, honestly, put these in a pile of in my project pile where I can finish these. I think this is a good project to do like while I'm watching TV at night. And I like to have projects like that where I love to have a project where I can sit down at tea and just relax. My partner's doing his thing. He likes me to sit and watch him play video games, which I don't watch TV. I don't want to watch him play a video game, but I will sit if I have something to do and do that. So I'm gonna, and this is a very easy thing because I can, you know, have a little bit of glue and have a little bit of skewers and just, and my ink and my thing, and it just doesn't take a lot of things. So this is a really good project for that. And then I can come back later and add the nail polish when I have a basket of these ready. But I don't have the patience right now to sit and do all of these. This is so cool. I have to decide if I'm going to paint this. I'm going to paint this one with this really super sparkly purple. And the reason why is because I feel like this guy is a little bit plain, where the other ones have a little bit more going on. I just feel like this is the plainest one, and so he needs a little bit more sparkle. I do love to wear this on my nails. It's got these big silver pieces of glitter in them, and it's just like, it looks like a hole in your fingernail almost. It's very cool. I don't know if that's the best way to describe it. Yes, if you use this, you'll have like a big silver hole in your fingernail. It changes it. It's very cool. And I like the magenta color in this. It's very pretty. So that is fun. Fun, fun, fun. Yes, that is, it's very kind of magical. Very cool. Okay. And it's just got letters underneath. It's just got layers and layers and layers, which is, again, just one of the most fun things about this. I think I'm going to not use that. It's a little bit over the top for me. So unless I really want to add something to this, I'm just going to use this one. But you feel free to make it your own. Lots of different ways you can make these, and lots of different papers that you can use. I like using things that I might have just not really liked. I do think these were things that I liked. I really did like these maps. I didn't see using all of the maps that I have, so this was a cool way to use them up. I just think it's very, very cool. Did I make one out of that? I'm certain I did. Where is it? This is the one that we made that was really just out of the printed page, and it had that like little bit of yellow at the end, and it's really kind of one of the coolest ones here. So there's all of that. So I will store these in my finished projects bin, and I will be making more and more and more of these. I have a full project set apart for doing that. I might need a pair of scissors, but I might also be able to tear some of these like longer pieces if I want to make itty bitty tiny beads. Some of these are very small. super happy with this whole project. Thank you for joining me today at Scrapcraft and Stitchery. While I made paper beads, I created a project bag so that I can continue to make these as kind of I've done through. So I've shown you how I can set up a project bag to have something to do a little bit later. I don't want to sit here and like ink all these right now because this is my productive time. This is where I have a little more energy. Later on, when I don't have as much energy and I need something, I can grab this bag and my ink pad and this, and I will be able to have a very simple task that doesn't take a lot. Another thing, I mean, this will fill the time that I'm usually setting aside for doing fussy cutting at the end of the day where I'm just tired and I don't want to think anymore, and I can kind of do something super simple and easy. And so I've left myself a note, so I really don't have to think about it. I can just be like, oh, these need to be inked. I like having tasks like that for times when I'm just worn out and tired, or I only have so much bandwidth and I'm already spending it on something else. So there's that, and I think it's a great idea. I think you should have one. Do you have one? What do you do? Be sure to please subscribe to my channel, and it doesn't cost you anything. This is very cool. Hit that like button, same thing, and it really does a lot to support me. And also, thank you for joining me today. I really do appreciate all of the viewers and everything that they do and contribute. And what else? Check out, I have a link to my Ko-fi shop where I talk a lot about journaling. I try and do a monthly blog post there to give you something and see a little bit maybe about what I'm thinking about journaling, and I think that that's kind of cool. And what else? I am an Amazon associate. I have some products that I use and in my own studio. These are products that I love, and if you want to be able to find them, if you follow that link, I do get a small percentage of those purchases. It's really super important to me. So if you see anything you like here or anything you want me to share, let me know. That is not on there. And also a link to my Etsy shop where I have some journals that I have made, and I will be adding some things either there or to my Ko-fi shop. I haven't really decided at this point. I might shut down the Etsy shop and move everything to Ko-fi because I don't know that I need to have two options. But there is a link to my Etsy shop if you want to check that out. So please, I guess this is the point where I say scrap happily and stitch scrappily, and until next time, I will see you then. Bye!